This weekend, we got UFC 313 live from Las Vegas. Jump in on all the action with my partners, DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. Don't be intimidated. It is super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple, like which fighter's going to win. And if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. All new customers who bet just $5 get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. When you sign up, use the promo code SONNEN. Staying on the action, use your $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays. This will give you a shot at an even bigger payout. You can combine multiple bets together from the same fights. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on in-progress fights just as they happen, which will make watching the fights even more exciting. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and still have a shot at big cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers, use my promo code SONNEN. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code SONNEN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
I got an interesting stat for you. And I want you to think of this. I will tell you, I am not ready to give you my final prediction for Pierre Ankalaev. I will fully admit to you, and I believe that you would concede back to me, this is close. I mean, this is going to be a really close fight. We also understand, oh, hi, doggy. Hi, little doggy. We also understand, historically speaking, Ankalaev wins. Now, the historical reference that I'm making is the more superior wrestler versus the more superior striker. Okay. With all of that said, how much wrestling does Ankalaev plan to do? How much wrestling can he do? There is something about Pierre. I don't know what it is. Sean O'Malley has this same thing. Where he's giving you a look, and there's a feel that you can't see on the outside. You can only feel it when you're the opponent. Where you don't want to wrestle him. Like, you don't want to make those initial attacks. You want to... I mean, it's not just a matter that guys are failing to wrestle Sean O'Malley. Alex Pereira. Guys are not trying to wrestle Sean O'Malley and Alex Pereira. Like, they feel something. And I got to point that out. Because I would love to get some guys together that have fought O'Malley or that fought Pereira. Get them talking. Get them talking. What are you feeling? What is happening? It's a very accurate observation by me that guys aren't just failing to out-wrestle them. They're not attempting to. Now, I want you to keep that in mind. Because the better wrestler historically isn't really what this is about. It's a superior, dominant wrestler. And I'm not convinced that Alex Pereira is necessarily at this massive deficit. But hold that thought. Because again, we're going to use history as our trajectory to the future. And one thing about that, when you have the superior grappler, one thing that doesn't get noticed, right? Like the underlying factor to being such a good wrestler is you're in better shape than the other guy. The reason nobody wrestles, the reason you literally never considered yourself or met a single person who has ever signed up for a wrestling gym or even tried to sign up for a wrestling gym, but you know plenty, maybe yourself, that have signed up for jiu-jitsu gyms and MMA gyms. The reason is wrestling is so hard. There's no other reason that people don't go to it. It's hard. I point that out because the better wrestler, as a byproduct, is in better shape. Okay. Important that you understand that, because see that's where a historical standpoint of what happens in a matchup like Ankalaev versus Pereira has got to be reconsidered. I do not question Ankalaev anywhere. He's awesome. He could be the champion of the world. I mean, he literally could be champion of the world in a couple of days. But I will not concede for you that he is the superior conditioned athlete. The few times that we have seen the striker get over on the grappler, I mean, Maurice Smith versus Mark Coleman, if you guys haven't seen that, you can't really go down as an expert with an MMA if you don't have that match specifically, the knowledge of what happened in that match, how and why it happened in that match. And the largest part was not the kicks of Maurice Smith. It wasn't the inability to take down by Mark Coleman. The biggest story of that fight was conditioning. The biggest story of every fight that you have ever seen is conditioning. You can't sell conditioning, so we don't try. We sell memberships to the karate school, and we sell memberships to the jiu-jitsu club. But you can't sell somebody on the idea of this cardio. And I just want to bring that to you. Like, that is the one thing that has always been, you want to talk about history? I don't got to go back to the 90s. I don't got to tell you about the turn of the century. I could go back to last Saturday. I can tell you about next Saturday. I can tell you about the other 10 fights on the card this very weekend. All of which are going to be won by whichever athlete is willing to work harder, which is conditioning. And if you ever talk about an athlete's confidence, athlete never tell how great training camp was, or he thinks he's going to win this, or he's feeling his best ever, all he's referencing is his conditioning. That's it. A fighter doesn't care if he fights on short notice. What he cares about is having short notice and not being able to fill that gas tank full. And that is one thing we got to give Alex Pereira. And if you look at Pereira when he had to run Adesanya down, he was down 4 rounds. They were in the 5th. I mean, this fight was over. The math was against him. But he was very different. You remember what he said in his corner? That wasn't just tough guy talk. That was a tough guy talking, but that wasn't just tough guy talk, man. He hunted him down. He waited till the end of the fight. That's when he does his best work. I knew some guys like this, man. I grew up with some guys like that. I grew up with this wrestler named Oscar Wood. And the biggest problem you were going to have in life is if the 3rd round got there and you were ahead of Oscar Wood. He was going to do certain things to you that he would not have otherwise done. And Alex Pereira is the same way. And I think that it does matter. And I think if we go back and we look at the closest spot we've ever seen Ankalaev in to matching this, headline, pay-per-view, world title, 5th round, I think that you would agree between the two athletes, who in the past has done better in championship rounds? I feel like you're going to come to the conclusion of Alex Pereira. And I also feel if you listen with fairness to what I just said, I am right. It appears that the wrestlers have beat the strikers. That's what it appears. But is that the reality? Or was it the guy that was in better shape beat the guy across from him? I want you to look at it like that. And I think if you do, that's where you start to realize, can Ankalaev win this fight? Yes. Can Pereira beat Ankalaev? Yes.